Hello everybody! Today for you guys I have this take video to do, and it's the princess take, and you guys all know how much I love my take videos. And I originally saw Glam Life Guru, or Toddy, I think that she's the one who made this up. She did this. It's basically just running through like every category of makeup, so like foundation, concealer, powder, blush, bronzer, highlighter, etc. and showing your favorite like high-end products from that particular category. So kind of making you feel like a princess, because everything in this take is just very expensive or very luxurious, things that, you know, you probably wouldn't normally buy, like more splurgy type of items. So we're just gonna get down into it. I am, like usual, just getting back from work, so I sort of have like my work t-shirt on and everything, so that's not super princessy, but honestly it's just what we're gonna go with. So let's just get on into the tag. I'm actually going to start with primer, because I do have a bit of like a fancy primer here. It's the Smashbox Photo Finish Under Eye Hydrating Primer, or excuse me, the Photo Finish Hydrating Under Eye Primer. Sort of said that backwards. This is what it looks like. It's just a little tube of magical hydration. I really enjoy this product because it can almost work as an eye cream. It is really easy to get it to be super thick though. You do have to be kind of careful. I like to wear this on top of like an under eye gel, not so much an under eye cream, because I find that if you put a cream and then this and then like a creamy concealer product on top, it just can get a little bit like cakey in the sense that you feel like you have a lot of makeup there and you're more prone to creasing. But if you just wear this by itself, or with just a really light amount of like your normal moisturizer underneath your eyes, you're set to go. It's super hydrating. I find that people who have more mature skin, or maybe have sort of like a lot of wrinkles, fine lines, or just overall dryness in that area will really like this. Onto my high-end foundation pick. This is probably no surprise, the NARS Sheer Glow. This is definitely a pricey item. I think it hits around the $45 mark. It might be like $42 or something like that. My shade is Light 4 Deauville. This is, by the way, more of like my summer shade. This doesn't fit me so much in the winter. I might have to buy a different shade for the winter, but it is quite expensive. However, it is seriously one of the best foundations I've ever used in terms of staying power, coverage, and just I feel like it has a lot of really good ingredients in it for my skin, because it's not a product that has ever broken me out. I can wear this for days and days and days and days, obviously not continuously, but I can wear this for, you know, like a week every day on my face, and I never notice any breakouts, which is something I can't say with a lot of my foundations. I tend to like to give my skin little breaks in between foundation days, just because if I wear foundation continuously, it just really clogs up my pores, and you know, it's not good. But this has never done that to me, so I really like this. It's a great foundation, leaves a beautiful like semi-matte finish to the skin. Really nice product. Let's move on to concealer. I love my little thing here of Benefit Erase Paste. This is probably one of my favorite like higher end kind of splurgy products, because I just don't feel like there's a lot of stuff like this at the drugstore. These sort of like peachy, salmony tone concealers that have that really nice gel-like consistency. I find that this is really hard to find at the drugstore, and so this is just one of those products that you kind of have to spend quite a bit of money on, but it is amazing. I've had this forever, and by the way, this is just a little sample pot. I've had this for about, I don't know, 2 or 3 years now, and I'm still working on it. I'm barely halfway through it. Granted, I don't use it every single day, but on days where my dark circles are really bad, I layer a little bit of this underneath my concealer, and they're just gone. You know, automatically they just look so much more brightened, and they just disappear in a matter of seconds. So if you have problems with dark circles, a sort of correctory product like this will really be nice. And this is one of the best ones I found in terms of like pigmentation, again, longevity, and it just really brightens up those under eyes really nicely. Let's move on to a high-end powder. This category was kind of hard for me because I really love some of my drugstore powders. I find that, you know, powder is a powder. If it doesn't go on too cakey and if it feels nice, it, you know, it pretty much does its job, then, you know, why spend tons of money on it? But a powder that I have found out that kind of stands out amongst the rest is the Korres Wild Rose Brightening Flawless Finish Powder Compact. I love the packaging on this. It's very simple. You open it up and you have your powder, and then it has like a mirror and then a sponge underneath it, so it's very travel friendly. My shade is 03 Beige, and I love this stuff because I can wear this in the summer and it does a good job of controlling my oils and keeping me matte, you know, overall. But I can also wear it in the winter because it's not a drying powder whatsoever. It has a slight sheen that it leaves the skin, so it's not like your typical powder in the sense that it makes it really super like matte looking and just kind of makes it gross and look very powdery. So I'm a huge fan of this. I definitely think that it's a great powder, and it can also kind of double up as a foundation too. Alrighty, now let's move on to eye products. I gotta start with an eyeshadow base. One of my favorites is definitely the NARS Smudge Proof Eyeshadow Base. This is probably my favorite sort of like high-end eyeshadow primer. I really don't use drugstore eyeshadow primers in general because they don't really work for me. I'm a huge fan of drugstore makeup. You guys all know that. But I found that drugstore eyeshadow primers just don't ever do anything for me because my eyelids are so oily that I really need a great and just overall amazing eye primer to make sure that that oil doesn't, you know, peek through and start creasing my shadows. And this is a great shadow primer. This was one of the first eyeshadow primers that I really got hooked on. It just did miracles for my eyes. It really makes your shadows a lot more pigmented and just makes them brighter overall. And it really, really enhances the wear of them as well. The other great thing about this is that if you have more mature eyes, I feel like you really like this because it has some kind of like primey, like think about like face primer type properties in it where it smooths out the surface of your eyelid. So if you have wrinkles or any sort of like dry patches or anything up on your eyelids, it really smooths over that surface and makes like a really even canvas for you to work on. So I'm a huge fan of this. For eyeshadows, my favorite high-end eyeshadows of all time are Urban Decay shadows. This is the Urban Decay Vice 1 palette. They recently came out the Vice 2 palette, which I'm super excited to get my hands on at some point. This mirror is probably going to be really distracting, but this is what it looks like. Urban Decay shadows are just so pigmented, so rich and creamy and easy to work with. I love the variety of textures. Here is Provocateur, which is like a really pretty glittery pinky texture. We have Chaos, which is a blue matte, and it's very pigmented, really smooth, and this isn't even, I think, one of Urban Decay's greatest mattes, but it's still really nice. And then just kind of their signature finish, which is this really, really velvety, super smooth, slightly shimmery, kind of like a satin finish. This here is Vice. So I just love, love, love Urban Decay shadows. They're a little bit expensive, but if you can buy them in palettes, it's a great deal. Like I said, they're just so nice. They're blendable, they're super pigmented, they last for a really long amount of time, and the palettes are just such a great deal. I mean, I've never gone through an Urban Decay palette. I don't think anybody has. They'll definitely last you a long time, and something like the Naked palettes, you just can't go wrong with them. As for mascara, this was super, super hard for me to pick because I love my drugstore mascaras, but I also have a very few selective high-end mascaras that I love, and I kind of love them all the same. Those include the Makeup Forever Smoky Lash, the Benefit They're Real Mascara, and then this one, which I'm going to show. I'm going to show this one because I feel like it would work for a majority of lash types, and it just has been a mascara that I've gone back to a few times, and I just love it every single time. And it's the Buxom Lash Mascara. This has a rubber bristled wand, which usually I'm not a huge fan of, but it has so many of these little bristles on it that they really catch every single one of your lashes, make them look just super, super defined, and it really helps to lengthen, volumize, it holds a nice curl. It's just an amazing mascara overall. This one that I have here is kind of dried out and empty, but I really want to purchase another one of these because it's just an amazing mascara, and like I said, I feel like it would work for a lot of different lash types, and I feel like a lot of people would really enjoy this mascara. Next, I'm going to move on to eyeliner. This is a super hard category for me to pick from as well because I really love drugstore liners, and I don't think that a lot of high-end liners are worth the price. I mean, Urban Decay has some absolutely gorgeous shades, so other than I guess like the shade selection from higher end ranges, I find that your basic, you know, blacks, browns, maybe even like navy or like some green tones, you can find great liners like that at the drugstore. So it's hard for me to like tell you guys I really love a high-end liner and there's probably a drugstore liner that I like more. But one particular liner that I am absolutely in love with, and I think is just really great for the shade, this is the Stila Stay All Day Waterproof Liquid Liner in the shade Cobalt, and this is a bright blue color, very sort of like neon. Sorry, my phone just went off, so that's what that was. Just a very neon bright blue. It's super, super pretty. I'll do a little swatch on the back of my hand for you guys. This came out with their fall collection, so it is still available. You can see that on the back of my hand. There's just nothing really like this, I find, at the drugstore. So I really like these. Also, the formula of these are really nice. They are quite pricey at like $22 a pop, but they are super easy to apply. They're not a super wet formulation, so they don't drip or like bleed outside your lines in your eyes. And like I said, this color is just so pretty. I know that they have a lot of other colors that are really unique. So this would probably be my favorite sort of high-end eyeliner. Let's move on to lip gloss. I love NARS lip glosses. If you guys can't tell, NARS is sort of one of my favorite like high-end brands. This particular shade is just gorgeous. This is in the shade Oasis. I think this might have been limited edition for fall last year. This is a gorgeous lip gloss. I mean, if you guys can get your hands on this, I really recommend it. It's a plummy shade that has some like gold flecks in it, but overall I really like the feel of NARS lip glosses. They are a little bit sticky, but I like how they have hold to them. They also never like settle into my lip lines weird. They're comfortable enough to wear if you don't mind a slightly sticky or tacky gloss, and I just think that they're so great, and I'm really a huge fan of these, and like I said, this color is absolutely stunning. As for lipsticks, another sort of hard category for me because I love a lot of my drugstore lippies, but this formulation here is just absolutely incredible. I've never worked with a lipstick that is quite like this. This is the Bare Minerals Marvelous Moxie lipstick. This is in the shade Get Ready, and the way that these feel on your lips, they're just so moisturizing and so rich and creamy. Just one swipe over your lips and you're good to go. The feel of them is just amazing because they're so lightweight, but yet they stay on for a super long amount of time. They're so hydrating, and it's just one of those lipsticks that you almost have to try it out for yourself to really see what I'm talking about. It just makes drugstore lipsticks look super bad in comparison. I'll do a swatch of it for you guys. I mean, when you swatch these lipsticks, you can just tell that the color saturation is totally there. They're super shiny, so much so that you probably don't even need a gloss if you're not into like super glossy lips. This is just a great sort of everyday shade, and I'm just a huge fan of these. I would really recommend them to you guys. And then for blush, and then finally bronzer, and we're done because I don't really feel like I have a high-end highlighter favorite because I'm not a huge highlighter person. But this blush is absolutely incredible. This is the Amazing Cosmetics blush in Pink Chocolate. And you want to talk about a blush, that's pigmented, smooth, creamy, long wearing. I mean, this is totally all that and more. Super pigmented color. I mean, a little bit of this goes a super long ways. Looking at the size of it, it doesn't really look like you get a whole lot, but when you see how pigmented it is and just how it blends out so nicely, it's just an amazing blush. Like, it truly is an amazing cosmetics product. Super pretty color. This color I think would suit a variety of skin tones, and it's just really nice, and this formulation is just out of this world. So finally, we have bronzer, and I might throw in a nail polish favorite too, just for the heck of it. This particular bronzer is from Too Faced, and it's the Chocolate Soleil bronzer. I'm sure you guys have heard of it a million times. I have mine in the Sweet Dreams palette. It looks like this. It's just a matte bronzer that has almost 0 to no orange tones in it. Oh, as I hit myself in the face with the palette. It's just a really nice sort of neutral matte brown, and they also have a milk chocolate version, which is awesome for super fair people. I bet I could pull off the milk chocolate probably better than this, but I kind of like my deep contours. Just a super pretty pigmented bronzer that lasts a really long amount of time. Like I said, it doesn't get muddy or it doesn't get orange. It looks very natural. It's great to contour with, or also with like a fluffy brush, just take it all over the face. Amazing product, and I would really recommend that to you guys. And finally, nail polish. I am absolutely obsessed with Orly nail polishes. I got this little set that included like 4 of these little mini polishes, and these cream finish ones are just so amazing. They're almost a polish that you can wear like one coat and get away with it. So if you're kind of someone who's on the go and doesn't really like to spend a lot of time on their nails, I think you'd really like these. With a base coat, one of these, and a top coat, you have a nail that really looks like a gel finish. It just looks so professional. They're so easy to work with. They have a really wide range of colors, and I think that they go on sale a lot at Ulta, where it's like buy 2 get the 3rd free, or buy 1 get 1 half off, so you can get them for pretty cheap, and the colors are just amazing. I actually found these ones at TJ Maxx too, so they weren't expensive at all. The ones that I have here are Spread Your Wings and Poison Apple. Both gorgeous shades for fall, and like I said, the texture and the creaminess and the pigmentation on these nail polishes are just amazing, and they're super shiny, really easy to work with, and I'm a huge fan of them. Okay, so that is it. We have gone through the Princess Tag, where I've shown you guys my favorite high-end products. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Maybe you found some new products that you can spend a little bit more money on if you have it. A lot of these would make really great gift ideas. They're just really amazing products that I do think are worth the money if you're gonna spend just a little bit more on your makeup. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll talk to you all later. Bye-bye. This formulation is just amazing. I mean, this is seriously, okay, my phone just keeps on going off.